Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hi, everyone. My name is Karis. Welcome to Hollywood Astrology. This is where we're going to take a look at what's happening in the stars above and the stars below here in Hollywood. Now, I love Los Angeles. LA is my lady. Love everything about LA, Hollywood, all of it. I just get the biggest kick when I hear people say how phony baloney, how fake Hollywood in Los Angeles is. And I giggle to myself. I think, yeah, because the rest of the world is so authentic and real and honest. Shall we start with Washington, D.C.? How about the Vatican? I mean, that is ridiculous. There's good and bad in everything. Now, this week, with the stars above, we have the new moon in Scorpio, the solar eclipse, Venus has entered Scorpio, Mercury is going to enter Scorpio, a lot of water and emotion. Then Jupiter this week is going to retrograde back into Pisces, which is water. And Jupiter is over the top, doesn't recognize boundaries and limitations. It just goes overboard. So to say that the theme this week is emotional is an understatement. Now, this weekend, we had Kim Kardashian celebrating her birthday solar return, October 21st. Kim Kardashian, Libra, ruled by Venus. Her and her friends were on her private jet and they were flying to Las Vegas to see a concert with Usher, to dine at Carbone. But when they got to Las Vegas, the wind was so strong, they had to turn the plane around and make an emergency landing back here in Los Angeles. And they ended up having the birthday at In-N-Out Burger in Calabasas. The pictures are on Instagram. Everybody looked gorgeous. Everybody had a safe, happy, beautiful birthday celebration. So that's really nice, because when you're flying and you have to make an emergency landing and turn around and all of that, that is nerve-wracking to say the least, right before the new moon, when we're in the balsamic dark side of the moon. Now, Kim Kardashian, Libra, ruled by Venus, her Venus is in Virgo, and it's the most elevated planet in her chart. It's at the top of the chart. It's how you're seen and how you're recognized. Venus in Virgo, though, is what's called in its fall. So when Venus is in its fall, we have to work harder at it. We have to put more into it, more effort. And then what happens, if you do that, wherever the challenging planet is in your chart, the most challenging planet becomes your best friend, because you've lifted it up, you've healed it, so to speak. And what this means in her astrology chart is that for all of her stunning natural beauty, she works at it. She works to maintain that gorgeousness. This is the Venus in Virgo. Virgo, the worker bee. Health, diet, exercise. So she is known as this stunning beauty that she is, but that's not for free. She works at that in her astrology chart. She lifts up that Venus. Also, she has Saturn exalted in Libra. That's a superb attorney. Libra is the law, and when it's exalted with Saturn, watch what happens there. That's a very powerful and effective attorney. That's beautiful in the chart. That's kind of like a given in the birth chart. Whereas the Venus in Virgo in its fall, it had to be lifted up. So happy solar return to Libra, Kim Kardashian. Also, what's happening here with the stars here in Hollywood is that basketball star Brittany Griner was denied her appeal. And she's also a Libra. October 18th, happy solar return to her. Now, what's interesting in her chart is that she has Mars and Gemini in her birth chart. And we are all in a long, long Mars and Gemini cycle. Now, Mars and Gemini, Mars is the activating, take action male principle in astrology. And when it's in Gemini, That's the ability to look at different sides of a situation, to negotiate at its best. So with this appeal that was denied, what's going to happen over the next several months with our Mars in Gemini is that there will probably be a trade of prisoners, a negotiation, a deal will be worked out, and it'll probably be the prisoner trade deal that will be brought to the table. So interesting that she has Mars in Gemini and going through what's called a Mars return in her chart, but things will be negotiated there. And Gemini at their best, when they're at their most effective, they can really negotiate something very positive with the gift of the gab that they have. Sometimes it can go in the other direction with Gemini. The other twin shows up that doesn't want to keep quiet and can get all kinds of trouble. But this situation in the sports news for Brittany Griner, something will be worked out. May take a few months, but something will be worked out. In the weather news, with this long Mars in Gemini, it will be a very difficult winter weather-wise. And because we're looking at Gemini, which is always shifting and changing unexpectedly, wherever you live, be prepared to have different things that are necessary right at hand. For instance, in Paris, they tend to always carry an umbrella because they never know when it's going to start to rain. They're prepared for that. So with the waffling, the Gemini, the back and forth, and it's Mars, and this is through the winter time, have all the different things that you need to deal with whatever changes in the weather and whatever the weather patterns may be where you live. Now, the other thing that's coming up is always around the new moon, full moon. There was an earthquake up north in San Jose, California, 5.1. That's not too bad if you're Californian. You feel the shaker though when that happens. And in Elon Musk robot world, Elon Musk is threatening to fire up to 75% of his staff, the Twitter employees, if they don't go back to work. Now, he's threatening this firing on October 28th. That is the day, depending on your time zone, when Jupiter at the ending degrees of Pisces retrogrades back into Pisces at the ending degrees. Now, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and the ending degrees of Pisces, 29, 28, that aligns with a fixed star called Shia, which has to do with drowning, things being overwhelming. To say it's going to be emotional is an understatement. So this whole week and how it applies to your life is that with the new moon, that's a new action. With the sun, which is health and vitality, now in fixed water Scorpio, it means find and know what your passion is. This is Scorpio, nothing wishy-washy about Scorpio, nothing middle of the road. They have strong likes and dislikes. You find what your passion is, what your ride or die is, meaning you have to do it. You can't not do it, and just stick with that. Because again, this week with all of the water, all of the Scorpio, which is intense, Jupiter retrograding back into water Pisces, just hold on to what you have control of over, which is yourself and your feelings and your emotions. Interesting week this week with the stars above, the stars here on Earth, and what's going to happen with Elon Musk. Now, he's a sun sign Cancer, and that was also the sun sign of Nikola Tesla. There are a lot of similarities in both of their astrology charts together. If you want me to go over that, let me know, leave it in the comments, but they have a lot of things in common. in their astrology charts. And to get over emotional is one thing, to say the least, that they have in common in the charts. And we're building towards that. Robot guy is saying that there will be millions of people living on Mars. He wants robots to take the place of what he calls the boring grunt work. So we're not talking about robots, though, in this situation. We're talking about human being employees that need their job. So I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to state it here, but see how the week plays out. A lot of emotion, a lot of water. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Have a beautiful week. Stay cool. Stay cool, everyone. Happy Halloween. Oh, one last thing. As we go into the weekend, the moon will be in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter will be in Pisces. So the moon in Sag is going to square its own ruler, Jupiter, now back into Pisces. That's going way, way too much overboard. Have a good time. Enjoy Halloween. We all love it. But try to temper it just a little bit. I was at Knights of the Jack on the King Gillette Ranch. They have a Halloween Knights of the Jack display. King Gillette was a Capricorn. He invented the disposable razor for men, hence Gillette razors. But his ranch and his property, every Halloween, they put up these beautiful Halloween different displays. You've got to see it at least once, and it's very kid friendly. So enjoy the holiday, enjoy Halloween, but that moon in Sag squaring its ruler, Jupiter, back into Pisces. Wow. Happy Halloween. Stay cool, everyone. I will see you all in the stars.